Afternoon, Michelle here again. I wanted to just address something. For those who don't know, Michelle moved to Ghana recently, and as a diasporan who was not born in the US, came from the US, but I was there on an H-1B visa. Moving from the US to Ghana is not the same as United States citizens who are either retired or just, migrating to and bringing their business and their savings and so on. It's a totally different thing. I was a worker, lived from paycheck to paycheck. Right now, trying to just pass on information to persons who are like-minded and who are scared is because they don't have savings per se. The challenges, things that are easy, things that are hard. So I just wanted to mention in particular the solar aspect. Options for electricity is not possible right now. I'm the only one living in the scheme, so I checked out getting solar, and as I said in my YouTube video, 28,000 Ghanaian cedis for just the lithium battery. That was the quote I got. 8 solar panels at 2,000, so it adds up. I can't afford that. I'm looking into options, which is one of the things I wanted to share. And one of the diaspora pointed out that the quote that I get, it may be a totally different quote if we take ourselves to Accra and search out the lithium batteries, search out the inverter and the panel prices for ourselves. So that is something I'm considering. But what I also did after I got the first quote at 103,000 was break down how many solars that I make that could take me through for now, for just lighting and maybe one my refrigerator, to be exact. So I'm looking into that. So that is something else you have to do when you get here. When you just get here, it's not so easy. I've been here for some months now, so I have more persons I can talk to and discuss with. I feel more comfortable going around by myself, so I'm actually thinking of going into Accra to check. However, my brother, who will be here sometime, hopefully next year, he pointed out I think I'll probably put the image down. He looked into China and importing a solar kit. The cost for that was 1,000, I don't remember exactly, but it was less than 1,500 US dollars for the pricing alone. The shipping would be a separate, but it would still turn out to be less than what you'd be paying here. 1,000 something, 1,005 is almost 15,000 Ghanaian cedis, or a little bit over that. But looking at that, and we are, it's just an option, right? But I'm saying you have to look at options, just to take one quote example of pursuing your own needs, so to speak. Go to your own prices, check it out yourself. One, I didn't check out myself. I saw that one place was selling solar lights for like 1,000, 2,000. I just couldn't figure out why the pricing was so high. Then when it came time for me to get, because I know the solar lights that I have inside, I placed one outside. I had 2 when I was moving. I placed one outside, and those 2 together cost less than 500 cedis. When I recently started looking into have some lights around the house, I was told, not me looking it out, but persons who were trying to get for me, and they got 2. One, I got 3 total. One, I don't know the price because the person just gave it to me. But the 2 that was contributed, both were the same exact thing, big enough. They had solar panels with them, so that to recharge it, and those solar lights was 300 cedis each. And I've been puzzled since then, what is the difference between the one that I saw for 1,000 and the other one for 2,000 something, that seemed smaller than the ones I got, and was so expensive. So I know there is a diasporan price, as they call it, versus a Ghanaian price. But regardless of that norm, for want of a better term, regardless of that, we have to make sure that we don't, especially persons in my situation where you don't have a lot of money to be tossing all around. And in my case too, my house, with the problems with the workmanship and some of the work done, I have to double up. They do something, they didn't do it right, they don't come back, I have to get somebody else to fix some of the things or find other ways to fix it, right? Specifically speaking to solar lights, I'm going to be pursuing one, what they have it in Accra for, the different parts, the lithium battery, the solar panels, the inverter, the correct electrical wires and so for connection. And two, China is an option now, because many persons are importing things from China and utilizing it here. There are persons who are establishing themselves as middle persons. Well, I know of one such person who is doing that. I don't have an idea of his pricing yet, because there are terms that he is asking me information of that I am not yet familiar. I actually contacted him because my brother was looking into actually shipping a house in, those prefab houses in China, rather than having workmen doing this big building that could stretch on and on and on and cost him way more than what he is looking to spend. Today is the 5th of December. Today is my daughter's birthday, actually, my older daughter. It happened Wednesday night. It sounded like a storm, I'm telling you. Why is that important for me? The state of my house right now, I'm still looking at just the roofing in most of the places. I have a partial ceiling here, right? This is the back bedroom, so I have a partial ceiling here. And I have no ceiling in the living room, the kitchen, and the laundry area. No ceiling. So when I'm in my bedroom and the door is closed, you don't hear the pour of the rain on the roof. You come out your door and it sounded really, really terrible in terms of the power of the shower. But what I realized is the middle section of the roofing, the boards got wet because water was coming through. And in fact, when we were walking around on the floor, you could feel the moisture, hitting us. The rendering also, the bathroom is rendered, this back room and the front room is rendered on the inside. Outside of the house is not rendered. What's the problem with that? With that kind of rain, now the rain beating at the walls, moisture came through the cracks, those areas where you put the cement to connect the blocks. There's another problem where my house is concerned, because I have burglar bars on the windows that was recently placed in, but we had to remove the boarding to do that. And water was pouring in through there, but that's another story. Now the roofing is a problem because I think it was done in a rush. There were things that bothered me about it, but as someone who is not a builder or carpenter, I couldn't identify exactly. I just knew that the amount of lighting I was seeing up there during the day didn't seem normal. And I think now whatever they did not do, this is a result of that lack. Yeah, so that too is something, as a single person here, not much contractor experience, building experience, carpentering experience. I'll have to find someone else, see how hot this room is. And please note, the windows are open. I'll have to find someone else to address that issue. And this is after paying, I think it was 4,000 to do the roofing, right? So that's your, whoever it is interested in coming, your building to live, and you're moving without it's completed, those are some of the things that you're going to have to be dealing with. Persons doing the things on your house, but not doing it in a way, the correct or proper way, half-heartedly, I don't know what you want to call it. I try to avoid using certain terms because I'm not trying to bash anybody. It's just the reality of the situation. If I was in Jamaica, I'd probably be facing the same thing, you know, probably to a lesser degree, because I kind of think many of the Jamaicans that I have experienced, this is just my experience, many of the Jamaicans I used when they were building, there were some issues that just did not come up. But the reality here is that you will come upon people who, they do their work and they don't care how it affects others who are coming to do their work, and they definitely don't care how it affects you, especially if you're a woman. So I'm gonna have to put my mind towards fixing that, because if you put in the ceiling with that moisture, it's going to be constant mold on the roofing, and that is not helpful. I've never been so exposed to mold in my life, and that is going to be a consistent part of your living here, especially in the rainy season. So you gotta think about things like that. Okay, Michelle here again. Just recently moved to Ghana, and I'm sharing my experiences.